Welcome to Fact or Freestyle.
People love Dave Nourie, and they always answer the phone when he calls. When we get him on Zoom, we ask him to confirm rumors.
Let's see how far down the rabbit hole we go.
Altoona, Pennsylvania, and man, that gave me the bug to stay in entertainment, and I still do it to this day. I think it's awesome. But I ride mostly, and I do that whenever I get the audition, I guess. Right?
And you just posted something the other day of a Never Been Done. You did a decade to.
Oh, I rode out of a decade backwards.
Yeah,
I'm so stoked. Have you guys ever seen that?
I don't think I have.
So no, I was hell.
Yeah, I rode out of a decade backwards. I've had that trick in my back pocket for years, ever since the 90s. And we had this crazy thunderstorm, and I was outside filming this thunderstorm, and I have no idea, but I started to think like, holy shit, I'm filming this thunderstorm with my phone. I have an antenna. There's lightning all around me, all 360 degrees. I have an antenna, it's about to hit me. And then I thought, holy shit, I could ride out of this decade backwards. And the next day I went out and did it. I pulled it.
Cool.
I can't, for like one or two tries. And I was just like, oh my God, that's been there this whole time. But it's kind of like, I've seen Lung do this trick where he does like a whiplash. And then as he's whiplashing, he steps on the pedal and rides backwards. So I've always loved that. And recently a couple dudes were down here and one of them did it. I was like, oh, let me try that. So I just did a rebate and brought it back around and went right into riding backwards. But the difference in this one is I went on the opposite side. So when I rode out of the decade backwards, I'm going into riding backwards my opposite way in. So double stoke 'em maybe.
Whoa.
I don't know, just tricks. But the name of the game's keep progressing. Don't let 50 stop you, keep going.
Yeah, exactly.
Where is that trick posted?
It's like maybe 3 down on my page on Shawn White BMX.
Or Facebook, Instagram, right?
YouTube.
But I think I saw it on Facebook, Shawn. But
oh, I did put it on Facebook too, but I just posted on Facebook that guy fighting those 2 security guys in Whole Foods yesterday. Yeah. I just walked in and it was like instant scrap. I hit record. It was crazy.
All right, so we're gonna watch this now because it's just insane. All right, here we go.
That's the spot. That's the beach, baby. And I go off the tire too, so tire up and through backwards, right?
Oh, that was a fire hydrant in the decade. And in case you're wondering, I gave the name the fire hydrant in case anybody needs to know that.
Wow.
Yes.
Yeah, we need to know
Gary
that, right?
Pollock. Yes, Gary Pollock. Well, Jason Parks did something very close to the fire hydrant. Gary did it. Jason Parks did like a fire hydrant, but like standing still, if that makes any sense. And then Gary started doing it like moving and would do it into a cherry picker. And one of our friends was babbling about something and kept saying the word fire hydrant. Like, it's the fire hydrant, by the fire hydrant. And then Gary needed a name for that. And I said, call it a fire hydrant. And then somebody said, what's that trick called? And Gary goes, fire hydrant. That's where it came from.
Wow.
This is so
King
valuable.
of Prussia. Yes.
Wow.
Like I said, you got to have me on all the time, and we have hours and hours of stuff. I was there. I was there in the beginning for a lot of stuff, man. You gotta use my knowledge before I get hit by a truck or lose my mind or something, man.
So,
wait, does that count? I rode out backwards.
Yeah,
I think it counts.
I mean, I think when people see it, they think maybe I'm landing with the front wheel still in the air on the bars or something and riding backwards. But that's like that split-legged turnbucket or something like that. And that's been done. That like from, you're going forward and you put your foot over and you like kind of split-legged half decade.
Yeah.
Right?
Right.
Am I-
Right. No, I mean that's it. That split-legged turnbucket. Well, no, turnbucket is like
rolling backward to forward.
rolling backwards. Yeah. No, that's like proper, and the fact that you foot jammed it, went off the tire, it's pretty sick. So it was like a walk around and then land, and then you gotta twist your leg
into
back.
backwards.
Yeah.
Oppositely.
Yeah.
Opposite.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's right. And it's opposite.
And it's opposite. And I just thought of it the night before. I didn't work on it for 12 months, which that's normally the case. But
See, Joe, it happens. People make up tricks right before their contest.
yeah.
They do. Joe doesn't believe that.
It's
I did
very
it right before the
particular.
contest.
All right,
what
so
about
there's
the
three?
what about the no foot switch double decade Joe Gertola in the contest?
Oh, that was good.
Or working, baby.
The look on his face when he pulls that was so good.
I probably would have never stopped celebrating. I would have kept like, ah. I mean, I can't believe still to this day he pulled that.
What was the trick again? He did a what?
It was in
the
contest.
Columbus, Ohio.
Columbus, Ohio.
Joe, you gonna try to find the clip?
I am going to try to find it. I think it was in Dorkin.
It's in Dorkin.
It's in one of the
too.
Dorkins, yeah.
Yeah.
And
So
he decades, and instead of falling, he doesn't even switch his foot. He goes around again. So it's almost like doing
Perverted.
a double boomerang off the top two, but it's a decade, double decade. And he never even did it. It was just like an accident in his run and pulled it.
Which is
I'd like to see
insane because
that, like accidental tricks pulled in contest, you know, like
so this is the So let's get back to our format. We're totally losing control of our shows.
Oh,
Our listeners are just
sure.
talking.
Why,
Even though
why
it's
Dave got to
happening.
yell at everybody? I was having fun.
I mean, yeah. See, you guys are all.
Dave,
about-
why you always got to try to one up everyone?
I'm
What do you
trying to
gotta-
get,
what else
get
you
back
got to one
onto
up?
the point. I want to bring Shawn up to speed. So Shawn, we're desperation factor freestyle. The numbers are just
Oh,
dropping
yeah.
like every day.
Oh.
So Joe and I basically, Joe spent his own hard-earned money to get to York Jam to get content, and then we didn't even film anything. We have nothing.
Do you know why? Do you know why?
Batteries
Film
was dead?
anything? No.
Because you didn't
Scotty-
save it on the cloud.
Scotty Kramer showed up. There was a more
Oh.
famous show that showed up.
I did watch that piece and it was really good. I liked it a lot.
Did
The
they
whole,
did they post it on York Jam?
Yeah,
yet?
it's really good. It's really good.
Well,
You showing how to do
what
that, dude.
stopped you from
Vanderbilt.
filming? What
Who's doing
stopped
a
you from
Vanderbilt?
filming, Joe? I mean, you're not Scotty Kramer. That's a jumper.
Yeah.
And the York Jam's like
well,
17
there was shared
hours long.
responsibility. I just started with Scotty Kramer and distracting Dave. But
Yeah, good job.
it's
You
If
true.
I
did
was
distract
there-
me.
If I was there, we would have done a Factor Freestyle live with Kevin Jones. I can get
Yeah.
Kevin to tell us who shot Kennedy. Kevin and I can. For
So
some
next
reason,
year,
we
next
can-
year, Joe, I mean, if you want to give it another year, or if you want to just lay this to rest now, we can just call it done. We've given it a year, because that's kind of what the philosophy is. If it hasn't taken off in a year, so
No.
No, you got to
According to
keep.
Gary Vaynerchuk,
Can't stop.
you have
Okay.
to grind for a year in obscurity and then it hockey sticks. When I did Scuffington Post, I'm not bullshitting. Practically to a year, it hockey sticked one day. It just hockey sticked one day. And it was the craziest thing.
all right,
So you have to grind
Well,
for
what,
a year.
hey, what
I'm in
if,
it.
what if you would have stopped trying to spin a Miami Hopper? You'd have never spun a Miami Hopper. That wasn't first day, was it?
Yeah, Dave.
Oh yeah,
You got to keep
No, that was-
grinding.
no,
You
that
got to
was
keep on that grind.
that was accident in the contest.
So wait,
Come
this
on.
whole thing today is you're getting ready to quit Factor Freestyle because you've been doing it a year and you're not driving a Lamborghini. What's your
I mean,
problem? Joe,
Basically,
talk to him.
basically,
I'm trying to, but he's very accustomed to fame. So see, I have been grinding in obscurity my entire riding career. But Shawn, before you joined, Ray asked how many York Jams I had been to, and I answered 2. He was shocked. Dave, however, has been famous since he was like 12,
Born.
I think. Yeah, and so he expects it, right? Of course, Scotty Kramer is going to put him on.
well,
Of
it's not
course,
like
people are
it's not
going
like I
to.
was featured on Scotty's
blow
show.
him
I would have
shit.
to watch the
I think
episode.
you were
Oh,
featured on
I
Scotty show.
I
You
see what
haven't seen
happened.
it. It's really good.
What do you mean?
It's
really
really,
good.
really good.
I see
Oh,
what
yeah.
happened. So
Did they
Scotty
show
Kramer
Flatland
was
stuff?
interviewing Dave, and
Yeah.
Dave said, Fuck
Well,
Factor
this is-
Freestyle.
He said, "Fuck Factor Freestyle." He said, "This is where the fame is, and this
Well,
is how I'm going to maintain."
No, Joe,
And I'm
just
like,
to be
"No,
fair,
you got to keep grinding, bro."
just to be
He's like,
fair,
"Look," he's like, "Look, everything's been really easy for me. Like I
Right.
can, my trick, I can make up tricks before my run." I'm like, "But Dave, you got to have that grind, bro." And he's like, "I don't know, man."
okay,
And
so just
Dave,
to
you
give
didn't
it,
interview Jones about the tight headset and the backward infinity spin?
yeah, did they do Jones and Mark Eaton? Did they interview all those guys?
No, they didn't.
You saw it,
They
Joe?
had you guys were the whole piece, or Dave
But-
was. The whole piece was Dave doing a Miami hopper and then showing him how to do a Vanderroll. It was like a 18-minute thing, and that's all that he
Wow.
filmed. He films something every day. Like his job is YouTube, and every day he has like 1 billion
Right.
followers. He goes to a skate park, they do some stuff, and that's what I think Scotty does for a living now.
So
And I'll
hold-
tell you this, their most the most entertaining thing they did is they got the 101 tricks books.
Yeah.
And they got like modern day kids to try them, and they couldn't do one trick.
They
Like,
couldn't
they
do
were
a
doing,
cherry
like-
picker. They couldn't do a cherry picker, right? I
No, they
remember
couldn't
some-
do
Yep.
like front hops, cherry
Cookie
picker. They couldn't do
chicken.
anything, and it was so entertaining. I loved it. I totally loved it.
But they're
So,
also
Joe-
paying for Google AdSense too. They're also paying to get that traffic, you know, all the suggestions and everything. That's just not purely on his grinding. He's making money, so he's putting money into it. And that's fair, but I say
Okay.
don't spend $1 and see where you could get. That's how I look at it.
So we got a big sponsor. We got Flatland Fuel, and actually Flatland Fuel. And I have 4 banners in the mail coming to me from Iowa.
Dude,
And-
you're loaded.
Is he giving
Uh,
you cash or just banners?
He's giving me banners, and I don't need his cash. And so what we're doing is somewhere in the show, we're like flashing the gift code across the screen.
Oh,
And
there you go.
whoever runs and grabs it first.
But what's the point, Joe? There's nobody even watching or listening.
There's gonna be 2 people. So there's gonna be
Okay,
2
so
guys.
Shawn
at
and
a
Ray, you
jam.
guys could get your coupon. So are you gonna do it on this show too?
I don't need.
Yeah.
I don't need a coupon for anything for Flatland Fuel. Like, what am I going to get? What do I need? I don't need anything.
I don't know,
Wheel
t-shirt?
covers,
People
A
will
new-
give.
A new mug?
A new mug.
wheel cover,
You
the
might- wait, that
Lamborghini
might-
wheel covers with the air uni.
I had some of those, I think, at a garage sale recently.
Yeah. Wow. I'd like to see that.
Put that mug by your head, Dave. I want to.
I don't think it's bigger than Ray's. I mean, my mug is.
His is longer, but mine's wider. Mine's like bigger.
Wow. I just I go corporate.
Look at that.
Starbucks.
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 I
yeah.
went there once.
Okay,
wait,
so
I
Joe,
have a question.
can you get
So-
us back on track here? Because we're just.
Yeah, I want to ask you guys about Factor Freestyle. So you guys, the questions that you guys like, you ask everybody, is Bob Harrow over gripper? Like, I've watched probably all your episodes, and you ask that every time, and it's the kind of the same banter back and forth each time. Like, how many people have you asked, is Bob Harrow over gripper?
Probably
everybody.
Did
Well,
you see
everybody.
the,
Yeah,
the
everybody.
actual over gripping?
So
He grabs your hand and shakes it too hard.
So Shawn, so the story is Shawn was at this event at Harrow where Bob had a tent, and he walks up to Bob and he shakes his hand, and then Shawn goes to his knees.
No.
Did you put that? Did you put that in
Because
the
it hurt?
episode?
I sent it to Joe directly.
It's so
Was it
good.
jokingly
It's so
and
good.
recently, or was this like 30 years ago?
Last month,
Okay.
maybe 3 weeks ago.
So you knew the over gripper story, right? And
Oh,
and he
yeah,
knows
I was-
the over gripper
I
story.
was-
Okay.
We conspired.
I was part of it, and then I was gonna go up and buy something at his office because I'm like right down the street, and the guy, I guess, that was working there that you send the email to got fired. I don't know their special word they use for fired, but he got fired. So I saw Bob at the Harrow show, and I said, hey man, I tried to come up and buy something off you, and there he was like, oh, that guy got shit canned. And So then I was just talking to him and I said, hey, I gotta film this, dude. I gotta shake your hand. And he said, all right. And I said, this is for Joe. And he's like, go. And I just did it and dropped down to my knee. And it's funny.
So
And
Joe,
I tried
will
to
you
be
add
funny.
it?
I don't
Will
know
you
if I
add it
am.
to this show then, so we can see the clip? Because I don't think I've seen it.
Oh, you haven't seen it?
I'll pull it up. It's so funny. It's so funny.
Okay, so
It's
Ray,
so
going
funny.
back to your point. So your point is that, so you've listened to all the episodes, but some of the feedback that we got in Pennsylvania, I won't mention any names, Brian Huffman, but he said that there was so much content that was just going off into left field, and he
Yeah,
wants
that's
to
some of the
really
best
hear
stuff.
about, he wants to hear about what trick and where the origin, he liked that part. So when you brought up the
Yeah.
fire hydrant today, that's great. So we're gonna
That's
add,
awesome.
Joe and I agree that we're gonna add a segment at every show. We're gonna have a bit of the history of who maybe made up the trick, where it came
Right.
from, because that seems like a content that's self,
Yeah,
reliant.
people would be into that, you know.
I'd like to know who gets the credit for the boomerang. Is it Pat Romano?
No, well, there's a video of that lady, that Asian lady on that gold bike,
yeah.
busting out
Gold high
boomerang after
heels.
boomerang in like 1958, you know. So
Yeah. Oh, so who invented the boomerang on the 20-inch bicycle in leathers?
that lady, except it was in pantyhose.
That lady.
Well, the one,
Wow.
one thing that I always find amazing is that people are like, who first invented something, and they fight all about it. But who like, does it really matter who did it
No.
first? You know,
Yeah,
it kind
exactly.
of
No
does,
one-
but it kind of doesn't.
Yeah,
Is that
no
you
one
with a
really
mustache?
cares.
You look like a pastry chef. What is going on? He falls down.
That's a
Hey, is that Big Island in the background?
Yeah,
Yeah, it is.
Mikey.
that mustache is a character for a film, and I just have to do that.
Yeah.
It'll
Shawn-
come out soon. But
Shawn is a superstar. That Ray, you should be.
Yeah, what kind of, have you been in stuff that I would say? I don't watch that much crap, but like, what were you like? Were you in any movies or TV shows that are known? Like
Border
Melrose
Wars,
Place or
National
Fast Times at
Geographic.
Ridgemont High? What?
The Border Wars, National Geographic, like the
Don't know.
in between San Diego and Tijuana. Beach Patrol, that was on, I don't even know what channel that was, like season 2. But I just go after movies now. I just did a feature film, and now I'm filming the second feature film right now. That first one was Night Hunter, and that mustache is Children of a Dark Sun, like sex trafficking stuff. But it's just acting. It's just nothing. It's just like bike riding. But I just do characters. That's it. Just I'm nutty.
I can do
That's
characters.
awesome.
I'm doing a
Yeah.
character right now. You should have saw me in 2003. I would have been the most famous guy on this Zoom call. 2003. Tell him, Joe.
What
Joe,
happened?
tell him.
That is the funniest goddamn thing. So
Joe, tell him.
yeah, all right. So this is what happened. Ray, the Gravity Games is in Cleveland.
That's not it.
What?
Not the
2000
Gravity Games thing. The maid
What was-
show.
Oh, dude. So Ray.
But
So
the
this was-
Gravity
so-
Games
so
piece
this
was
was-
because of the maid show.
Okay, so what got him onto the Gravity Games thing was MTV. They had this show called Made, and I don't know who the regular host was, but Ray was the host to have
For the
this
backflip.
girl
That chick
to do the
backflip.
backflip.
Yep.
He knows
At
it.
Woodward.
Shawn
Yeah.
White in the house.
Yeah.
I was
yeah.
the coach on that, and they needed a coach.
I remember.
And they interviewed 31 pro riders. Like they interviewed like Van Homan and Todd Lyons and Robbie Morales and all this stuff. And then they came to my house and they're like, dude, we want you to be the coach for this girl. I'm like, dude, I haven't ridden a bike since the 80s. I can't even jump up a curb. And she's
She
like,
did
yeah,
it.
but you can, she goes, but you can talk shit. You can make fun of this girl the whole time. So,
Oh my God.
so I did that show and they played the show. It was in August of 2003 and they played it 4 times a day for like 3 months. I couldn't
Oh my
go
God.
anywhere. I couldn't go
Wow.
anywhere. I'd be at Costco shopping and people would be in line getting my autograph. asking what I was doing there, and I'm like, I'm just buying some shrimp for tonight. Like, what's going on? You know,
Ray, I would be lying to tell you that I didn't audition for it too. I did the video and I uploaded it to the MTV's website.com, everything. I went the full yard and I didn't get the final callback, but you did, dog, and I saw it and I about shit.
Well, here's the thing is they saw a video that Mark Eaton did. Mark Eaton did a 5-minute video called Ramp Up the John, and it was just me and like 6 other 20 other friends riding around. I had this big oversized coat on, and when they called me, they're like, "Hi, we're looking for Ray," and I'm like, "Yeah, this is Ray. Who's this?" And they're like, "This is Tori from MTV," and I'm like, "Yeah, right." And she goes, "We're looking for the guy with the big coat." I'm like, "Yeah, that's me." The next day, they came to my house, and the girl came with her video camera, and I had like 30 bikes in my living room, like hanging on the wall. And all I did was make fun of this lady. She looked like Punky Brewster. And all I did, my friend Warren and I were there, and all we did was make fun of her and give her a hard time. And she's like, "Oh my God, you're perfect for this." And I was like, "Perfect for what?" I never even heard of the Maid Show. So it was quite an ordeal.
Wow.
That's funny that you sent something in for that, where I was like that.
My one thing, they told me to make fun of her in the little script that they give you, the little sides.
Yeah.
And I was talking about how I was saying stuff like, "This chick's never gonna do it. She's gonna be sitting at McDonald's eating French fries," and I was just talking crazy amounts of shit.
Well, see, they didn't see that. Maybe that's why I did so well, because they didn't tell me any of that. I was just being myself. And here's the thing is, she comes to
This is your reality.
So listen, the producer comes to my house and she goes, "We want you to be the coach for a girl that has never really ridden a bike before, and she wants to be a BMXer. So Joe, you're gonna love this." So the first thing I pop in is the Mickey tape. I go, "Here's the first girl I taught."
Wow.
And she crashes her brains out, and she's like, "Who's that lady?" She goes, "Is that your mom?" And I go, "No, I think it's your mom." I'm like, "No, that's not my mom." And she's like, "Well, and like the whole Mickey video, I'm like, "Come on, Mickey, you can do it." And then like she'd fall, and I'm like, "Get back up and do it again." And the producer, Nikki Varheely, she was like just like this young chick, and she's like, I think you're gonna be perfect." And she walked out. She goes, "Hey, do you guys excuse me for a second?" She had a phone call, and her boyfriend called, and Warren picked up the video camera, and we were filming me making fun of the producer talking to her boyfriend, and she's like, "I just found the guy that's going to make the show." Wow. And I was like, "Oh, did you hear that?" I'm like, "Wait till she finds out I stuck my dick in her coffee," because she came to my house, I gave her a cup of coffee. And so
did you really?
I didn't put my penis in her coffee. No. But I was just saying.
You could lie. You did.
Yeah, no. I like to do a lot of funny stuff, but nothing like, I'm not that bad. But yeah, as we were filming, and we were going to, like, we went to Dave Nourie house. We were at Little Devil because they were in King of Prussia. We were going to like to skate parks and all this. And the girl, Nikki Varheely, the producer, was talking to all these riders like she knew them. I'm like, "How do you know all these people?" She goes, "Well, I interviewed Van, and I interviewed him, and I go, "Interviewed him for what?" She's like, "To be the coach." I'm like, "How many people did you interview?" She goes, "Well, I personally went around and saw 31 people." Wow. And I'm like, "What?" And then as time went on, like Todd Lyons was like, "I can do it, but I need 10 grand." And Robbie Morales was like, "Well, I can do it too, but whatever." And then I remember Robbie Morales called them and said, "Hey, like, did you find anybody yet?" And they're like, "Yeah, we found a guy in Philadelphia, Large Ray." And he goes, "Oh shit, you guys are in for it." And they're like, "That's what we hope." So that was one of the funnest things that ever happened in my life for my friends and I. And it just was thrown upon us. Like, we weren't, we didn't look for it. We didn't know what MAID was. And the more we didn't know and the more we didn't want to do it, the better it was. So It was pretty crazy.
I knew it was Large Ray the moment it come on. I said, "Holy shit." And I watched every second of that. I was waiting for it, man. It was
funny. And the thing that's crazy is they had 200 hours of footage. And when I went into the edit to like help him out with like people's names and whatever, this one guy, his name was Vinny. He's like, I'm gonna take the footage from when you guys went to the strip club, and I'm gonna edit down like a 22-minute show and send it to my friend at HBO. He goes, I've never seen anybody go into a strip club and be that funny and make fun of girls, but not be like that mean, but just, I've never heard that many one-liners at a strip club. This is the best. And they had so much footage. I would love to get all that footage and give it to Mark Eaton and have him do a real made show of like the uncut version. It would be, it would be historical.
Can you
Made
get it?
uncut.
Joe just left. Bye, Joe.
No, I got my Flatland Fuel banners delivered, and I want to show you guys.
Oh, sick.
They just got delivered just now.
Yeah, I got a notification.
I once posted on Facebook is the GT coaster brake super lace hubs real? Is this thing real or just a photograph? The first person who sends a selfie with one is the king of all free coasters, Pat Schoolin. Holds one up, selfie. Really had a GT free coaster. It was made by Nankai way back then, and so it was real. But for the rest of my life, I have to call him the king of all free coasters or coaster brakes. But just a little side note. I couldn't believe he had it.
All right.
So this is sponsored by this banner.
How huge this is.
Look at that.
Huge.
You could probably get $9 for that on eBay.
Oh my gosh, this is
Sell
worth
'em all.
9 million to me. Oh,
wow.
The glory. Oh, I have been trying to get Flatland Fuel banners for so long. I've been stealing them. I've been,
I've Flatland real estate, right? He sells houses.
Oh, this is so good.
That's awesome.
Right. Yeah, I'm stoked.
And now everybody that watches this one gets a coupon code for 2.5% off.
Yeah, I mean, depending upon how much you buy.
Hey everybody, so here's the time. This is when we're going to come in and do the Flatland Fuel $20 gift certificate giveaway. There's going to be a code that flashes on the screen. Go, write this down and go immediately to Flatland Fuel. Buy something, enter this code. It will be a total pain in the ass. It's like 20 characters long. Go ahead and get your money and buy some bike parts from Flatland Fuel because they're sponsoring the show now.
It's $20 coupons that it's like a sticker toss. It's a virtual sticker toss, but there's one sticker.
Where are they located? Where's Flatland Fuel located?
Iowa.
Like a place? Iowa.
So it should be like
totally
Flatland Fuel on the top and then Flat Society on the bottom.
Oh shit.
Or accidentally put Flat Society in the front. Oops, it's Flatland Fuel.
So here's why I have these banners. I'm so proud of this.
Okay.
So JF Bouillon is coming down from Montreal. He's doing another one of his tours, and he was hitting me up, and he's like, "Hey man, I'm going to be in the States. I want to come by ride the Terra home." He's like, "Give me a date." And I'm like, all right, let me think. And then finally I was like, fine, October 23rd. He's like, okay, great. And I was like, what are you doing here? And he goes, I've got a tour. I'm like, what do you mean you got a tour? He's like, I got a tour. I'm going to stop at your place. I'm going to stop at Wilhelm's place, all these other places. So okay, this is great. So I called some dudes. I'm like, yo, JF's going to be in town 23rd. It's pretty dope. So JF hits me back and he goes, send me a logo. I said, what do you mean, give me a logo? He goes, for the flyer. And I'm like, what are you talking about, the logo for the flyer? And he's like, well, I've got a tour sponsored by Flat Society. And I go, no, this is not the first stop on your tour of Flat Society. And he goes, wait, really? And I'm like, seriously, because Pat has been supportive of me both financially and emotionally. He says very nice things to me, encourages me. And I'm like, And, Fart Society is just trying to take food off Pat's table, so I can't be part of it. He's like, all right, but can't come join? I'm like, yeah, come here and then start the tour the next day. It'll be like a pre-party. So anyway, Pat has been laughing at me busting balls on Shawn and all that. And Shawn's a nice guy. Got nothing against Shawn, but it's funny to do. So I go, Shawn is paying for JF to drive his van around and ride, and I'm him the first stop. We're gonna be taking a lot of pictures of JF riding, and there's 4 walls in the Terradome. And what if those walls had giant Flatland Fuel banners on them?
So you connived him out of some banners.
And so I said, wouldn't that be great? And he's like,
Oh.
holy shit, I think you're finally getting yourself some banners. And so it took me years to produce a bit that he would support, and he's loving it. So JF is going to show up. There's going to be a bunch of Flatland Fuel banners all around the place. And then, we're going to ride. And I'm going to take lots of pictures of JF riding in front of my Flatland Fuel banner
Oh my
on the Fart Society tour. So that's great.
There's like there's two Flatland mail orders, and they're at heads. So,
yeah,
so
it's the
that small.
stupidest. It's
that small.
stupidest, most petty shit ever.
Yeah, really.
Petty
And
shit
everyone
makes me
wonders
laugh.
why it's so small. There you go.
Yes.
That's why no one can get a free brake cable anymore.
Hey everybody, that's another tight 20. I think we went a little bit long on this one, like maybe a tight 40, whatever. It's large Ray and Shawn White. Oh my God, there's so much good stuff in here. I'm continuing to make my way through this. We got tons of amazing conversation. I'm just going to be knocking these things out one at a day until I can get them all through. Tell us what you like.